Welcome back to the latest sports report, where we deliver the most current and engaging updates every day. Whether you're tuning in during your lunch hour, late at night post-game, or while immersed in NBA talks, we value your company here. Today presents a scenario that has stirred up a storm of feelings among fans. Some are in a state of panic, others feel frustration, while a select few maintain an unusual sense of calm and optimism. The team encountered a tough opening match, not only facing defeat, but also encountering significant struggles, as they were outperformed in nearly every aspect of the game. This raises several inquiries. Is this the end of their aspirations? Are they incapable of competing at this level? Or could this mark the beginning of a more intriguing storyline, one that might drastically change their future if the team reacts appropriately? Although the initial game was indeed lackluster, it's crucial to remember that it does not define the season. History indicates that teams, particularly those with standout players, should never be dismissed after a single game. However, before diving deeply into forecasts, let's pause to consider what actually transpired. Initially, the performance left much to be desired. The team struggled with scoring in transition, faced difficulties on the boards, and exhibited a lack of urgency from the opening tip to the final buzzer. The opponents brought a level of physicality, energy, and effort that the team simply could not match. This discrepancy was apparent in every possession, with the opposing team recording 25 fast break points, a notable statistic that shifted the game's dynamics. These points were not merely the result of mistakes or careless passes. They stemmed directly from effort. The rivals clearly outpaced, outworked, and showed a greater will to win. For supporters, this was disheartening since energy and effort should be the baseline expectation in playoff scenarios. Yet it extended beyond just the transition plays. The opposing side thoroughly dominated the boards, grabbing 11 offensive rebounds at critical times that disrupted any momentum the team tried to build. They returned with increased intensity, demonstrating a stronger resolve to achieve victory, which was frustrating for the supporters, as effort and drive should meet the essential expectations during playoffs. Nonetheless, the challenges went beyond fast breaks. The rivals fully controlled the rebounding game, collecting 11 offensive boards that stifled any progress the team aimed to make. Interestingly, the standout performers were not the usual stars. Instead, it was those who showed a greater determination to win. One player, in particular, consistently took advantage of second chances, showcasing defensive skills and energy that made the team seem lethargic by comparison. Defensively, the team faced significant challenges. Overcommitting during drives caused slow rotations, and there were frequent lapses in focus on assignments. The opposing team successfully turned 23 points from these situations, a statistic that tells a story on its own. A closer look indicates that out of those 23 attempts, 27 were entirely uncontested. Let that resonate. None were fiercely challenged. Some of these points can be attributed to good shooting, but much is due to a lack of strategy and discipline, particularly the absence of both. The team played as if it were in the preseason, allowing shooters in the corners to go unguarded, failing to communicate effectively during switches, and neglecting fundamental principles. This was not just a loss in the opening game. It highlighted the pitfalls to avoid in the playoffs. Yet for those who still hold hope, there is potential for recovery. Despite various missteps, the team discovered an effective approach. Targeting a key player in open space, especially with one specific player directing the offense, proved to be beneficial. This player started strong, contributing 16 points in the first quarter, largely due to defensive switches that left the opponent scrambling. However, this key player encountered foul trouble early on, a significant pressure point to exploit. This leads to the question, could this strategy provide the framework for the team to regain control? Utilizing the opponent's foot speed in open space and forcing them into challenging defensive situations might be the game plan for the next matchup. It is noteworthy that this is not the first instance of a team led by a prominent figure experiencing a bumpy start to the postseason. They're looking for a pressure point. This is the reality. So, could this be the chance for the team to make a recovery? Could they exploit Gore's speed in open spaces and force him to defend downhill plays as part of the strategy for the next game? It's important to remember that this is not a unique situation for a team with an experienced athlete who has dealt with difficulties at the start of seasons. In 2020, the team lost their first game against Portland, and many wrote them off, but they went on to secure 4 consecutive wins in that playoff phase. They lost the first game to Houston and, once again, made an impressive recovery. The star of the team has a history of overcoming adversity in early games, having won only 2 of 7 such matchups, but still overcoming more than half of the series he played in. So, could this just be another one of those moments? A slow start before a significant improvement in performance? This will depend on the adaptations that are made. Offensively, the team needs to diversify their game. In addition to the pick-and-roll strategy, the offense showed a lack of creativity. The spacing was compromised, actions on the opposite side were absent, and an important player seemed to struggle to find a rhythm with the ball. The main player wasn't utilized enough as a playmaker. Another player became invisible during the game, while a third, expected to shine in intense series, had few opportunities. Perhaps the strategy is overly complicated, or maybe the issue is simply execution. Either way, something needs to change because against a team like Minnesota, it's crucial to force the defense to make decisions and keep them guessing. This cannot be achieved through predictable plays or grouping 3 players on one side of the court with no movement. Defensively, the answer is clear: discipline. No more excessive help. No unnecessary rotations. Trust the individual matchups, contest shots, and, above all, maintain communication. Many of the mistakes in the first game occurred due to simple communication failures. This shows a lack of focus and mental effort. Post-game analyses have been intense. But what about the intangible aspects like energy and the will to win? It could be said that the team's leaders left the game dissatisfied. In their observations, they emphasized the fundamentals: energy, effort, and physicality. It wasn't just about a lack of execution. It was about pride. With the series still in play, the challenge now becomes psychological. Will this team respond effectively? Will they enter the next game and set a different tone, not just strategically, but also in terms of attitude? If they fail and return to Minnesota down 0-2, the situation could become difficult. This is where the narrative intensifies. However, if they respond and tie the series at 1 apiece, everything changes. The pressure would shift, the questions would alter, and uncertainty would begin to seep into the opponent's locker room. Everything begins with leadership. The player can no longer afford to wait for the game to come to him. At this point in his career, he must reaffirm his influence from the start, set the tone, and show this young team the value of experience. The DNA of a champion does not hesitate. We've seen him shine in such situations before, scoring 40 points in decisive games and leading teams through challenges. However, this team needs that version of him now more than ever. The same goes for the other standout player. He can't be satisfied with shining only occasionally. He must be relentless. The opposing team will adjust, doubling him, defending more aggressively, and limiting his preferred angles. The question now is whether he can adapt. Will he be patient when the shots don't fall and effective when they do? Can he dictate the pace, draw fouls, and elevate his teammates' performance in the process? This distinction is what separates stars from superstars in the critical months of May and June. Furthermore, we must not forget the performance of the bench. The team's second unit was completely outmatched. The energy was lacking. There was no momentum shift. In a game where the starters were fatigued, this is unacceptable. The players need to contribute in some way, whether it's with energy, shooting, or defensive intensity. Anything. Because if this team finds itself relying on its main players for more than 40 minutes, there is a lack of intensity and no shift in the dynamics of the game. In a game where the starters were exhausted, this cannot happen. Players need to bring some kind of energy, shooting efficiency, or defensive resistance. If the team depends on its stars for more than 40 minutes in each matchup, this series won't last. Additionally, the issue of self-confidence is concerning. Body language plays a significant role in this context. In the opening game, it was clear. Missed shots, broken plays, and even timeouts highlighted this. The postures were defeated and heads were down. This is not the essence of the team. It doesn't reflect a team that trusts its capabilities. This is a crucial part of the challenge. Elite teams don't wait for favorable conditions. They create them. They overcome difficulties with a mindset that says, "We've been through this before." Moreover, the dynamics of the game can change quickly in the playoffs. A strong quarter, an impressive run, or a surprising performance from an unexpected player can shift the scenario. Maybe one player can energize the offense. Perhaps another can dominate defenders in the paint. Or a player with a less prominent role can emerge and make a decisive play. These moments define the narrative of the playoffs. If the team intends to claim their place in the postseason this year, they must emerge from this tough opening game with their heads high. From a psychological perspective, the challenge is now far greater than anything else. They must embrace the challenge head-on, not retreat or allow doubt to take root. This team cannot afford to be passive. Time is running out, and the playoffs are too tight to leave room for error. This begins with leadership, discipline, effort, and, above all, confidence. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. In an unexpected turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the NBA, Devin Booker has signed with the Los Angeles Lakers, a move that has left fans both stunned and elated. The star shooting guard, who has been the face of the Phoenix Suns for years, has now found a new home in Hollywood, joining forces with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the rest of the Lakers' powerhouse roster. This development comes as a surprise to many, as Booker had been seen as the cornerstone of the Suns, and the idea of him leaving Phoenix seemed almost impossible just a few months ago. The signing of Booker by the Lakers is not only a massive addition to their offensive arsenal, but it also signals a new era for the Lakers as they look to compete for more championships in the coming seasons. With LeBron James in the twilight of his career, adding a dynamic scorer like Booker offers the Lakers a fresh boost to their championship hopes. Booker, known for his incredible scoring ability, elite shooting range, and clutch performances, is expected to bring a new dimension to the Lakers' offense. The move has sent social media into overdrive, with fans of both the Lakers and the Suns expressing a range of emotions. Lakers fans are understandably ecstatic, flooding social media with praise for the organization's bold move. Many believe that Booker's addition could be the final piece of the puzzle that propels the Lakers back to the top of the NBA. They are already envisioning a deadly trio of Booker, LeBron, and Davis, capable of dominating both ends of the floor. On the other hand, Suns fans are heartbroken by the departure of their star player. Booker has been the face of the franchise for years, and his departure marks the end of an era in Phoenix. The reaction from Suns fans on social media has been one of disbelief and disappointment, with many expressing their gratitude for Booker's contributions to the team over the years, but also mourning the loss of a player they had hoped would lead them to an NBA championship. While the trade has yet to be officially finalized, the announcement has already sparked speculation about how this move will impact the balance of power in the Western Conference. With the Lakers now adding another superstar to their roster, many believe they are primed to challenge the likes of the Denver Nuggets, Golden State Warriors, and other contenders in the West. Meanwhile, the Suns will have to regroup and focus on building a new identity without Booker, as they now face the daunting task of rebuilding after losing one of their most valuable assets. In the days following the announcement, both the Lakers and Suns have kept a low profile, but the buzz surrounding the deal continues to grow. Fans are eagerly awaiting the next steps in what could be one of the most pivotal off-seasons in recent memory. For now, all eyes will be on Los Angeles as they welcome Booker into the fold and prepare for what promises to be a thrilling season ahead. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.